Thank you, Dean Berkowitz. You've been busy this year. When I looked at that organization chart, and recently I was looking into executive committee minutes back in the 20s and 30s, and they were nickeling, diming it. They were renting radios to patients in the hospital, and this brought in some income. They also ran the 2 hospitality shops, and were very pleased that they would be making $300 and $400 a month. So contrast that to the new organization plan and now a new building. We've come a long way. This is a particularly fun part of the program. And the Distinguished Alumni is a long-standing tradition. The honor roll goes back to include such luminaries as Margaret Conrad, Virginia Henderson, Elizabeth Gill, and many more graduates. And today we are honoring 2 alumni, and I would like to introduce Joan Arnold, the class of 1969, and Angela Clarke Duff, class of 1970, who chaired the Distinguished Alumni Award Committee for this joint reunion. And they will introduce us to this year's Distinguished Alumni Awardees. Their collaborative work this year has been remarkable, as you will see. Joan, Angela.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Sue. Oh, good morning. Thank you, Sue. The Distinguished Alumni Awards, given annually, honor and recognize outstanding graduates of the School of Nursing who have made significant contributions to the role and profession of nursing. Over the course of their careers, they have demonstrated great passion for the profession and have advocated for nursing on the regional, state, and national levels. So, Joan.
The award nominations come from alum and faculty of the school and are presented to the Distinguished Alumni Awards Committee for review and recommendations to both the boards of our alumni associations. This year, we're honoring 2 alumni who have impacted the field of nursing. The first award recipient is J. Margaret Ada Mutch of the class of 1936. I know you all know that Miss Mutch passed away earlier this year, just shy of her 107th birthday. Ada Mutch is named the 2012 Distinguished Alumna in Memoriam. I'd like to ask Margaret McClure, a distinguished nurse leader and former mentee of the late Ada Mutch, to join us now at the podium and to accept this award on Miss Mutch's behalf.
Thank you, Joan. First of all, let me tell you, this is a wonderful opportunity for me. I am so delighted that you invited me to read the citation. Ada Mutch was indeed my mentor, and I have known her since I was a first-year student at the Lankenau Hospital School of Nursing. She was my role model, she was my mentor, she later became my boss, she later became my dear friend, and I saw her last on her 106th birthday. So I want you to know that I'm probably the only person in the room that actually knew Ada. A great, great lady. So I'm happy to read this on her behalf. We all searched for the secret of healthy, long life and watched with amazement as Jessie, Margaret, Ada Mutch celebrated each year of her remarkable life. Born in Scotland on February 3rd, 1905, Miss Mutch died on January 27th, 2012, just days before her 107th birthday, and she was known by all as a really great lady. A graduate of the Presbyterian Hospital School of Nursing in 1936, Miss Mutch was then hired as a head nurse at the hospital, and shortly after graduating and taking her position, she was appointed to the faculty of the newly formed Department of Nursing in the College of Physicians and Surgeons at Columbia University. In remembering those days, Miss Mutch said that she was part of the transition of moving Presbyterian Hospital School of Nursing into Columbia University, an undertaking for which she was most proud. Miss Mutch taught nursing fundamentals. In 1941, she earned her baccalaureate degree in nursing supervision. When World War II broke out, she joined the Army Nurse Corps, and this is not in the citation, but I am quite certain, and I hope I'm right on this history, that there was a unit that went, oh, people are nodding, from Presbyterian Hospital, and she was the chief of nursing for that unit, as I understood it. After she went to Europe with the unit, she later became, I think, the chief for all of Europe for nursing. That's what I think. We have to do some research on that. But when I got ready to read this, I realized she was with the Presbyterian unit and went overseas with them. At the time of her discharge, she joined the reserves and later retired. Actually, she didn't retire. She finished with the rank of lieutenant colonel. After her distinguished military service, Miss Mutch pursued a master's degree at Columbia University Teachers College, graduating in 1948, and also resumed her career at Presbyterian, where she advanced from head nurse to supervisor and then accepted a dual position as assistant director of nursing and assistant professor of nursing. In 1955, lucky me, Miss Mutch accepted a position with Lankenau Hospital in Philadelphia to be close to her aging father. She retired from Lankenau in 1970. And I have to tell you, she made such an impact on both that school and that hospital, I couldn't even describe it to you. That's a side, by the way, that's not in the citation. But Miss Mutch never actually retired. Her life's work as a humanitarian and volunteer extraordinaire continued for decades that followed. For more than 30 years, she drove patients with cancer to their medical appointments, delivered Meals on Wheels, volunteered at community group meetings of the Bryn Mawr Presbyterian Church, assisted clients of ElderNet in Bryn Mawr, and served on the volunteer and personnel committees of the ElderNet board. In 1999, in collaboration with Montgomery County, Lower Merion Township, and Mainline Health Bryn Mawr Hospital, ElderNet opened the Ada Mutch Community Resources Center. The Mutch Center continues to offer a food cupboard, care management, and Bryn Mawr Hospital's Ask a Nurse program. All the services are free. Miss Mutch recalled when she was asked about her life, as a small child, I had always been interested in nursing. Way back when I was living in Scotland, my younger sister was sick all the time. We had doctors in and out of the house constantly. My sister needed surgery and doctors would come to change her dressing. I was fascinated by that. Then in 1918, 6 years after coming to the United States, and 1 week after the Titanic went down, Miss Mutch remembers the flu epidemic. She was 13 at the time and recalled all the deaths that occurred. The local hospital did not have enough beds, so the old Lancaster Inn was turned into an emergency hospital. When her father, the Reverend Andrew Mutch of the Bryn Mawr Presbyterian Church, asked the doctor, "Is there anything we should do or take to keep them healthy," meaning his daughters? And the doctor said, "No, just be sure to get enough rest, enough to eat, and wash your hands all the time." It's still the only thing we do for flu, isn't it? Amazing. The Mutch family never came down with the flu, so apparently the advice was good. Also, they were very hardy people, as you probably gathered. Later, Miss Mutch earned a degree from the Boston School of Physical Education and worked as a physical education teacher for 8 years before making the life-changing decision to pursue nursing as a career. A lifetime of human service and dedication cannot be adequately summarized in one page, particularly a lifetime covering an entire century of personal and world events. Over the years, Ms. Mutch earned an abundance of awards recognizing her countless contributions to nursing and community service, including the Alumni Award from the Baldwin School, Distinguished Daughter of Pennsylvania, Outstanding Leadership and Volunteer Service from Villanova University College of Nursing, the Columbia University Presbyterian Hospital School of Nursing Alumni Award, and the Nurses Educational Funds, Inc. Ada Mutch Scholarship, which, by the way, when the scholarship was started, Lankanaw nurses, graduates, started it, and then with the help of Sue Hawes, it became a joint scholarship. It does not have Lankanaw's name in it, but it has your name in it, Columbia University. So we are most proud and pleased to honor Miss J. Margaret Ada Mutch with your Distinguished Alumni Award in memoriam from your alumni associations. And let me add how thrilled Ada would be at this joint meeting. She always felt that this was the way that it should be. And I know that she's with us today and very, very happy. Thank you so very much.
We have just a few remarks from, and I'll be brief, Andrew Mutch, Ada's nephew. He couldn't be here this morning, but he said that he is just so thrilled that his Aunt Ada is being recognized, and he shares a couple of stories that he thought you'd appreciate to know about her, and I'll read them quickly. When driving one of her senior citizens to the grocery store, the lady enthusiastically thanked Ada for her help driving to do shopping, as without Ada's help, she would be almost homebound. She also mentioned that Ada would come to appreciate that wonderful service when she got older herself. Ada replied that it was a pleasure to help and that she gently asked the woman how old she might be. And when the lady replied that she was 86, Ada laughed and said that she was 96 at the time. And she was very lucky to be in the position of helping others. The other story was just shortly after her 105th birthday. On that day, Ada fell trying to serve herself a slice of her own birthday cake, and she broke her hip. After being transported to her beloved Lankanaw Hospital, where she was diagnosed, of course, with her own, the diagnosis confirmed her own assessment that she needed to go to the OR, but there was no space that very morning. And so she was placed in a bed to await surgery the whole day. With nothing else to do, she spent the rest of the day working out the ElderNet driving and companion schedules for the next week. And that's what she would have done if she had not fallen. So at 105, her only comment was that my hip didn't hurt, and if I didn't move, and the schedules had to be done, and they were my responsibility. In the end, Ada arranged to have her own body donated to the local hospital so that future doctors and nurses could, as she said, get a look at a 106-year-old person because she thought that many of the medical professionals actually would never have that opportunity. And so you see, even in her death, Ada Mutch is still helping others to learn and perfect their profession. And so Andrew says he has no doubt that Ada is here with us today and that she would be very proud to accept this special honor. And he says, on behalf of the Mutch family, thank you very much for the honor.
What a great story. It is my pleasure to present our next recipient with the 2012 Distinguished Alumni Award to Janice, Jones Izlar, class of 2006. Roxana Sasse, classes of 1992 and 2011, and the former Alumni Association president, and Janice. Please join me here at the podium.
It is my privilege to be here today, even though I'm a little teary-eyed, on two levels, because Janice has become my colleague and professional anesthetist friend over the years, so I'm honored to introduce her to you as our living distinguished alumni recipient today. A certified registered nurse anesthetist for more than 30 years, Dr. Janice Izlar loves her practice and the day-to-day administration of anesthesia. Her passion for the profession continues to grow every year as she encounters new challenges and enjoys meeting them. When a student during a surgical rotation, Dr. Izlar knew that the operating room atmosphere was where she felt most comfortable. One day, a nurse anesthetist recognized this interest and talked about nurse anesthesiology as a possible career choice. That passion was kindled, and today, Dr. Izlar is the chief nurse anesthetist and administrator of anesthesia services for the Georgia Institute for Plastic Surgery in Savannah, Georgia. Dr. Izlar's education began with a Baccalaureate of Science degree in biology from the University of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a nurse anesthesia diploma from North Carolina Baptist Hospital School of Nursing in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She came to Columbia University School of Nursing as a bachelor's prepared CRNA and was enrolled in the master's completion program. During the course of her study here, she was both an outstanding student and an excellent professional resource for her fellow students. After graduating from the School of Nursing in 2006, she earned a Doctor of Nurse Anesthesia Practice degree at Virginia Commonwealth University. Now, Dr. Izlar is the president-elect of the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists. That is about 44,000 members, our professional organization, and I think Janice is the first Columbia grad to reach that pinnacle of success for the anesthesia profession. She will assume this position as president in August this year in San Francisco. This association sets and maintains the standards of anesthesia excellence in the care of our patients. Dr. Izlar is committed to building on this legacy of this 80-year-old association by advocating for key issues such as patient safety, evidence-based research, and a myriad of legislative concerns. She affirms that the patient is the center of all that we do. She is a stunning example of service to nursing and the nurse anesthesia specialty. She is proud of the respect the CRNAs have earned in the healthcare arena and from legislatures, from regulators, from administrators, and the public. She believes that continuing to uphold the profession will constantly increase opportunities for CRNAs. Dr. Izlar has served on numerous committees of the AANA and held elected positions on the board of directors, as well as vice president and now as the president-elect. She's also a very active alum of the Columbia University School of Nursing, nurse anesthesia program, and she maintains a constant communication with the wonderful nurse anesthesia faculty here and has served as a guest speaker for the professional roles courses. Just as a little side note, last year Janice came to speak to the professional roles course that I was teaching, and she walked away from that class being held in such high esteem by the students that she now has many mentees that are following her through their beginnings of their anesthesia career. So thank you, Janice, for that continued support. Through her work with the state and national organizations, Dr. Izlar understands the importance of staying current with the knowledge and the skills. She constantly strives to give each patient the very best individualized care possible. She also realizes the vast career opportunities that we are faced with, and encourages others to pursue a career in this field. She offers these words of wisdom to those interested in the career as a nurse anesthetist. She tells us, shadow a CRNA and learn about the profession. You will quickly learn that the CRNAs are very happy and they're very satisfied with their work and their career choice. And when you do decide on a career, find one that makes you happy for a lifetime. And I can attest we all do that. As new president of the AANA, Dr. Izlar is committed to promoting a dynamic organization, advocating for the profession and through its 50-state agency. She believes that the federal legislation and regulatory issues require continuous oversight and a strong voice in health reform, particularly with regard to reimbursement under Medicare. Leadership development is important to Dr. Izlar, and she expects to provide the tools and the knowledge for the leaders of the state associations to protect and advance patient rights. Dr. Izlar will ensure academic rigor in educational programs that support the full CRNA scope of practice preparation, coupled with business courses to enhance the future capabilities of nurse anesthetists. For a distinguished career in nursing practice as a certified registered nurse anesthetist, the Alumni Association bestows upon you, Dr. Janice Izlar, the Distinguished Alumni Award in recognition and appreciation of your superlative practice, numerous professional accomplishments, and stellar record of nursing leadership. Here is Dr. Izlar.
Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you to Dean Berkowitz and the School of Nursing faculty for this nomination and the award, to support the support of the Reunion Planning Committee to receive this tremendous honor. I would also like to thank the visionary leaders of the Columbia School of Nursing to develop programs to meet the needs of current and future nurses. When I decided to return to academics in pursuit of a master's degree, I knew Columbia was the place for me. I could build on my education and clinical experience to advance my personal goals. So with the support of my husband and son, who are here with me today, and Delta frequent flyer miles, I was able to come to New York every week for a year to complete a master's degree. My admirations for Columbia School of Nursing grew this past March. I was representing the AANA at HRSA's Division of Nursing. During our presentation, the HRSA delegation questioned, why do nurse anesthesia programs require students to leave the workforce throughout the entire program? Pointing out this is a huge disadvantage, especially to the minority population who may need to work to support their family while continuing their education. I was proud to answer with a description of Columbia's creative academic schedule that does open the door for individuals with the need to work and desire to pursue nursing and advanced practice nursing. They were very impressed. At that moment, my appreciation for Columbia grew, for I realized that Columbia was not only the right place for me, but it is also the right place for many prospective nurses and advanced practice nurses. It is so exciting to hear from Dean Berkowitz about Columbia's vision for the future, with the goal to reach out to a diverse population, the transition to entry-level DNP, and even a new home. I'm proud of the visionary, creative, academic programs that Columbia offers. I see the value of my Columbia education in practice every day, and I'm honored to be a member of the Columbia nursing family. Thank you for this special recognition.